Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. Something I wanted to talk about and cover today is basically the impacts that internet privacy and the lack thereof can have on someone's life. Specifically, someone like you or my life. Um, a lot of people talk about internet privacy. They, might say it's important, but then if you look at the way that they use the internet or, their phone or whatever, um, they're just irresponsible with how they act and what they do and the information that they share online. So I just wanted to run through a few scenarios of what it could look like if you, one, don't take your privacy seriously, and two, if someone's able to take advantage of that and steal your information or your digital files, whatever it may be. But just wanted to kind of run through what it looks like when your privacy does get invaded and someone takes advantage of that. So, first of all, how can someone get access to your information? So, there's kind of a number of ways to do that. Maybe through a data breach. A lot of times when a large company, say like Enterprise Rent-A-Car, that's just an example. I don't even know if they've had a data breach, but let's say Enterprise Rental Car had a data breach and your information was in there. So let's say you had an online account with them. Whoever hacked that information might have access to your account login for your online account for Enterprise. They might have your address. They might have your credit card number. It really just depends on the data breach, but what's happening more and more these days is when someone is able to crack into a system, they'll take all the data and maybe they won't even use it themselves, but they'll see it as an opportunity to profit. So they'll sell the database that they were able to hack, and they'll sell it on the dark web, or I don't know, there might be some other sketchy websites out there where that information gets sold, but the truth is your information's available. If you've been involved in a data breach, that information's probably out there somewhere, and people could use it. One of the things that happens with these breaches is there's millions of people who have their information leaked. So let's say you're just lucky and your name's near the bottom of the list. Whoever's going into these accounts and hacking in might not even make it to your name. So just because your name's included in this data doesn't mean that your account's necessarily been compromised, but odds are they have your password, and if they get around to it, they could probably log in. So the best thing to do to protect yourself is to just change your password. So let's say someone gets into my Enterprise Rental Car online account. They're able to access my home address, my phone number, my credit card number, my email and password. So basically, what can they do with this data? What happens next? And what happens a lot of time is, say my email address was associated with an account that was like compromised. The login was lost in a data breach. Someone could try my email and that same password across a number of services like Facebook, maybe Gmail, maybe other social accounts like Twitter, maybe even my bank account. And what they'll do there is they'll log in, and sometimes people are just looking to promote spam products. So they'll log into thousands of Facebook accounts and just send out messages like, hey, I saw this, or hey, watch this video. And what they're doing is they're just trying to monetize those users by appearing to be me or you and sending messages out trying to get people to click on phishing sites or other shady links. And then let's say they try to log into my bank account. Well, you think, wow, well, my bank account, I log in, it asks me a security question, it asks me to verify my email address or something. And a lot of times that's good enough to keep someone from accessing your account, but in a lot of cases, when someone has access to a full database of user data, let's say they go to my bank account, maybe it uses my email address to log in, or if I have a username, what if it's the same username that was leaked on these other sites? They can go to my banking website, type in my email or whatever login they might have for me, and then use the same password. And if I use the same password on my bank account, boom, they've surpassed step one. They made it past step one. And then they get a security question. Well, most people think like, well, clearly only I know the answer to my security question, but that's not always the case. If someone's able to find me on Facebook and my security question for my Bank of America account is, what's your mother's maiden name, or what's your paternal grandfather's name? A lot of that information can be found on Facebook or through other means of searching on the internet. So if someone gets access to my password, a lot of the times the answers to those security questions are very obvious. They just go to Facebook, type in my name, look at my profile, and see, oh, well, this person has a friend that looks like their mom. They're tagged in this photo. It looks like their mom. Must be their mom. So then they go to your mom's profile. They see that on her profile it says her maiden name was Smith, and then they're able to crack that security that security question. So you just kind of have to think about the ways that people, one, hack into your accounts in the first place, how they get that access to that information, and then what other accounts and what other information can they get from that data that could possibly compromise more of your accounts. And I've talked about this before. It's important to use unique passwords across different websites or even accounts, just because if someone gets access to a database from one company that was hacked and you use that same password everywhere else, then you're just leaving yourself at risk, and that's really not a good thing to do. Another aspect of the internet privacy stuff I wanted to get into is it's important to keep things like your Facebook profile or other social profiles, Instagram, for example. It's important to keep these private, because if someone who is targeting me for whatever reason, like maybe they have certain passwords, information, whatever, and they have decided that they want to destroy my life. Well, they go to my Facebook account, they go to my Instagram account, and they see things like where I work. Well, then they can use the same kind of methods that they use to hack into my Gmail account to hack into my work email. And then at that point, they can do things from my work email that could potentially put my job at risk. So it kind of translates from your everyday life that you kind of separate from work. If someone's able to get access to certain information, they can use that to access your work accounts and potentially cost your company business, or send explicit content and then you have an HR issue to deal with. There's just a number of threats that poor internet privacy can kind of bring up. So those are just a few things I wanted to talk about today. I'll be covering a lot more over the next week or so. I'm going to have a lot of extra time to make videos, so subscribe if you like this video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. And have a great day and stay safe online.